If you've spent any time around older relatives, friends, or even just tuned into a local diner conversation, you've probably noticed something. Older folks can get very passionate about politics. Whether it's the latest election, government policy, or a seemingly endless opinion on why the country was better 50 years ago, many older adults are deeply engaged with politics, sometimes to the point of, shall we say, intensity. So, why do the political fires burn so brightly in the later stages of life? Let's dig in with humor, a bit of psychology, and maybe a dose of understanding. First, consider the perspective of experience. Older adults have lived through wars, social movements, and cultural shifts that younger generations only know through textbooks or TV specials. This means they've seen, up close and personal, the tangible impact of political decisions on society. They remember leaders whose actions shaped their lives, and they likely have memories tied to particular political events. Some they'd probably love to relive, others not so much. Think about it. When you've been around long enough to see significant changes, you develop opinions about how things should be. And of course, many are more than happy to share these opinions with a younger audience that needs to know. It's their history, and politics is one way of staying connected to it. As people age, they may become more concerned with the world they'll leave behind. This idea is called legacy motivation. Studies show that people tend to think more about the future, not just for themselves, but for their loved ones. This is part of why grandparents will spend hours discussing policies that might impact their grandchildren or the environment. This sense of leaving something better behind can be deeply meaningful. Even if a policy won't directly impact them, they feel a responsibility to shape the world for those who come after. So, that intensity? It often comes from a place of caring about the long term, even if they're at a stage where their own future might not be as long. Many older adults have a bit more free time, especially if they're retired. For some, politics becomes a hobby, a passion project, or even a substitute for the professional roles they once held. Without a daily grind to manage, staying up to date on news and participating in political discussions can offer structure and a sense of purpose. They may volunteer for campaigns, attend town halls, or become politically active in ways that weren't possible when they were working full-time. In fact, this involvement can be energizing. It provides a community, keeps the brain engaged, and creates a way to feel influential, even when they're no longer in the traditional workforce. Politics can become the new 9-to-5 for retirees, and they throw themselves into it wholeheartedly. As we age, our comfort zone often narrows. Political parties and ideologies provide a familiar framework that can be comforting in a world that's constantly changing. Political allegiance in particular can become a significant part of one's identity. For someone who's seen a lot of rapid cultural and technological change, having a set of beliefs they can hold on to can feel stabilizing. Interestingly, research shows that people's personalities often grow more set as they age, which is why shifting viewpoints can feel difficult. This doesn't mean older adults can't or won't consider new ideas. It just means that the beliefs they hold have often stood the test of time in their minds. And when something feels that solid, it's easier to be passionate about defending it. News media plays a big role. Let's be honest. News channels know their audience, and older viewers are often more dedicated news consumers than younger generations. Some networks cater specifically to older audiences, with programming designed to keep people engaged and, yes, often outraged. Constant news cycles can create a sort of echo chamber that intensifies political focus and frustration. For someone who tunes in daily, these cycles reinforce the importance of political events, making each issue feel like it has life or death stakes. News consumption for older adults can even become a kind of social experience. You might find family members quoting TV anchors as if they're close friends, or repeating phrases that have been drilled in after hours of coverage. This can reinforce beliefs and make politics feel like an essential, even personal topic of conversation. The desire to share wisdom. At the core, many older adults talk about politics because they believe they have wisdom to offer. Imagine a grandparent trying to give life advice. They're not lecturing just for fun. Okay, sometimes they might be. It's often because they feel they've gained insight over the years and want to help guide others in what they see as the right direction. This is where empathy can go a long way. That passion for politics is, in many ways, a desire to be heard and validated for the experiences they've lived. While their approach might be more opinionated than younger generations are used to, it's usually driven by a genuine wish to protect what they value. So, how do we respond? If you have an older family member who's always itching to talk politics, the best approach may be a blend of patience, curiosity, and understanding. Ask questions, listen, and remember that their perspective is built on years of personal experience. Sometimes, it's more about the need for connection than the need to debate. You might even find that their stories help put today's political climate in context, giving you a perspective on how far we've come or where we still need to go. And if all else fails, remember, you can always gently steer the conversation to other, lighter topics, or bring up your own political interests if you're feeling brave. In the end, politics offers older adults a way to stay engaged, feel purposeful, and connect. That passion isn't going anywhere soon, and for all our sakes, it's often better to laugh with it than get frustrated by it.